Okay, your wife wants to leave. You need to save your marriage. You got a plan, but here are the 9 things that's most likely missing that has come from me talking to hundreds, close to thousands of men trying to save their marriage and sharing with me their game plan for it. And these are the most common things that I see that are missing from it. So I want to give this to you so you can add this into your plan to make sure that you set yourself up for the greatest chance of success when it comes to saving your marriage. All right, so let's dig in. Number one, actually having a plan. And I know this sounds obvious, but I can't tell you how many men I've talked to who just don't have a plan. And it makes sense because this is one of the most traumatic events you can go through as a man. Second to loss of a loved one, I believe, and then it goes divorce. So you're in the thick of it. You're not able to step back and think logically, rationally about how to do this. And you probably don't even know where to begin. So any plan is better than no plan. So create a plan for yourself. Write out like, okay, here are the steps that I'm going to follow. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you're going on YouTube, listening to all these things. Take what you like from each one and make together a plan because that's going to be better than nothing. Right? So make a plan. Think about, okay, here's my situation. Here's how she's showing up. Here are the problems in my marriage. Let me just start figuring out what I need to work on first. Maybe I've lost everything, like in my, like I'm an emotional wreck. Okay, step one, let me get emotionally stable again. Maybe she's shut down or won't communicate anything. Okay, step one, I need to get her open back up. Like whatever your situation is, create a plan. That's number one. Number two, communicating the plan. Now, if your wife's in a situation where she's like, I'm done, I'm not going to work on this, we're over, I can't see anything, you probably won't communicate a plan with her. She doesn't want to hear it. She's not going to receive it. But if you're in a situation where she's still open and receptive, she's still talking to you, you guys maybe are cohabitating, and you just want to be like, hey, I know we're in a bad spot. I know you want to leave. I know that it's likely this is over, but I still see a path forward for us to have the marriage that you've always. And I've written down a plan for myself. You can join in on it if you choose. It's okay if you don't, but a plan for myself on how I can be the man that you deserve, a man who you want to spend the rest of your life with again, and share that plan. You can say, is there anything, any gap here that you think I work on could support you, could make you feel like you want to go back into this marriage? Or if she's really being distant, you can do this little maneuver and be like, no, is there anything over our marriage that you wish I would have worked on that and didn't? So at least I won't carry that forward into the next one. If she's playing the whatever work you do will be better for next, you can play that route. All right. So that's number two, communicating the plan with her. Number three, identifying the parts of yourself that you need to work on in order to save this marriage. What I mean by that is we all bring our own baggage into a relationship, whether it's from our past, whether it's things that happened inside the marriage, maybe it's our own, what we were raised and what our environment that we were in. Maybe it's our bringing work home with us. Whatever it is, we're bringing that into the marriage. We got to clean that up. We got to clean up all those things for no other reason, but we're not fighting against ourselves. Just imagine like you have all this baggage, all this weight on your shoulder, and you're trying to move forward towards the marriage of your dream, trying to stay, but you're carrying all this and you get tired and exhausted. You need to take a break. And then you just collapse at times. Like this is what happens when we don't clear that baggage, right? You have to go handle that internal stuff that's been showing up and causing the damage in your marriage. And I have other videos specifically on this. I have tools and trainings down below for that if you need more guidance. But just know you need to clear up that baggage. A lot of guys start with there. Better than nothing. I don't think it's the best route, but it's better than nothing to at least start identifying those patterns. To go from 0 to 1, therapy is great. When you want to go from 1 to 10, which is usually what you need to save your marriage, there's some more important or better practices, better tools. All right. That's number 3. Let's talk about number 4. So number 4 is going to follow along the same path as number 3, which you've identified your baggage. You're creating a plan. So with 3, we've identified the baggage. Number 4 is actually having a plan to work on it. So many guys I talk to is like, oh, I know I have anger issues, or I realized that I wasn't stepping up or showing up, or I realized that I have lots of insecurity, or my confidence is low, or I was depressed, or anything like that. Like they've identified it. They don't really have a plan to work on it. Right. At most, they're like, oh, well, I've been watching some videos on it. Oh, maybe I picked up a book. Better than nothing. But having a well thought out plan of how you're actually going to address gives you a bunch of different benefits. One, it gives you direction and something to focus on other than the marriage and the problems of the marriage, which we can get overly obsessed with, right? Two, through this process of figuring out how to work on it, you're actually going to learn more about it. You're going to see the options, the tools, and it's going to increase your awareness around the issue itself. So you won't bring as much of it into your situation. And then 3, you're going to increase the effectiveness, right? By actually putting this energy into figuring out how to do it, it's going to make it more important to you. And it's going to allow you to pick better options than if you're just kind of half-assing it. Okay. So that's number 4, making a plan on how to work one the situation. Number 5, you need to identify the major thing that she needs from you first. So we call this her key need. This is her thing, the biggest need that she needs from you in order to step back into the marriage. Spoiler alert, it's not space. Spoiler alert, it's not you just being out of her life. Like, it's not. It's usually something at this stage when you're dealing with like her really wanting to leave. It's going to be something around safety. It's going to be around security, whether emotionally or financially. It's going to be around you showing up as a father and a leader of the household. Usually it's going to be one of those things in a situation where she wants to leave. That's what we see across most of our clients. Okay. So you need to identify that. And you need to identify a plan on how you're going to work on it specifically. So so easy to get flooded by all the things that are happening, right? All the problems that you're seeing, her throwing things at you left and right, you going from hopeless to hopeful, to wanting to work on it, to not wanting to work on it, all of this, that it becomes inundating. It becomes like you get flooded, you get overwhelmed. Having one specific need that you're working on, so let's just say it's emotional safety. Right? Okay, she doesn't feel emotionally safe with me. Let me create a plan on how I can bring back emotional safety into the marriage, make her feel. Maybe that's let me take some communication courses. Let me get feedback from other people and how I show up in conversation. If she's willing to share with you, you can ask her, how have I made you not feel safe? And listen. Don't listen to try to fix, just listen and get those feedbacks and then go work on that thing. You go work on it hard. Let that get you want to obsess over something, obsess over meeting that need and shifting yourself and changing yourself to where you can meet that need. Okay. Now, the next one is going to be having a vision beyond fixing your marriage. So this is a big thing missing from plans because we're in a crisis right now, right? It's all we can focus on. We're day to day. We don't know how she's acting here. We don't know how she's acting there. And it's just like a roller coaster. What you need in that moment is to be able to see beyond just fixing it. What lies further than this? So you can put your focus on where you're going, not the crisis ahead. So this would be like if you had cancer, right? If you had cancer, of course you want to focus on the treatment, but how much more fulfilling is it when you focus on a life beyond? Like, once I'm healed, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go climb Mount Everest. I'm going to go travel to every country in the world. I'm going to go tell the people in my life how much I love them every single day, right? Having that vision beyond the crisis, beyond the problem, allows you to relax. It cultivates greater faith that it's going to be okay. It gets you away from hope into faith, which will help get you off of this roller coaster. All right, cool. Let's jump to the next one. Now, number 7 is more tactical, but it's having a schedule. So you built out this plan of all the things you're going to do, but then you leave it up to chance whether or not you do it, whether or not you're going to make the time, especially if you're busy, especially if you have kids. You can't leave saving your marriage up to chance of how you feel during that day to put time, energy, and effort into it. You need to schedule it, put it into your day, make a sacred time that you're going to spend working on your marriage. This is key. It's the difference between guys who succeed and guys who don't, from my experience. You have to schedule it. Number 8, you need to have a support system in your plan. How are you going to support yourself and make sure you have the tools and resources you need? You have the emotional support. You have the cheerleaders to save your marriage, because you can't do this on an island. You will go crazy, right? You will get out of states of hopelessness, states of hopeful, states of empowerment, disempowerment, victim, victor. Like, you're going to cycle across so many things. And you're also going to be so caught up in it that you're not going to be able to see the bigger picture. So you need that support system. You need to find the right group of people who are going to help nurture you through this process so you have the highest chance of success. It's key. And most guys don't even think about this. They let it be. I talked to my brother over here who's been divorced 3 times and tells me I should just leave. I talked to coworkers who are like, wow, I can't believe you're doing all this. I would have left a long time ago. I talked to my mother who says she's the worst person ever. How can she leave my baby? Okay, it's all of these. You're having a default support system instead of an intentional one who's set up. You got to bring your team. Like, if you're going to the Super Bowl right now, you got to have a Super Bowl team, right? You need to have a team that's going to allow you to go win this championship. Because saving your marriage is like winning a championship. And you need an entire team with you to do it. All right. And lastly, number 9, going back to this team metaphor, you need a coach, right? You're on the field. You're in the game every day in the trenches, trying to navigate and figure this out. You need a coach. You need somebody who's going to help you call the plays, help you see what they're doing, why they're doing it, how to navigate around it. And it's so important. And trying to do this on your own is a recipe for disaster, right? A very small percent of men can do this on their own. And I've maybe met 5 personally. So get a coach. And obviously I'm partial to our program and what we do here, but I don't care. Find somebody. It could be a pastor at your church who is really good at working with marriages. It could be a friend who's had to save his own marriage. It could be your therapist. It could be whoever, but make sure that they're good at what they do. They understand. They have a shared vision for you. So they want for you the same thing you want for yourself. And they're good at getting you on track, keeping you on track, helping you understand the next move. Those are the qualities that you're looking for. Okay, so those are the 9 things missing from plans. Hopefully this was helpful. If you need some resources, we have our marriage recovery toolkit down below this video. Click on it, go get all of our free resource courses, everything you need to save your marriage. All right, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.